12,000 miles from home, I learned a lot of lessons in Vietnam. I learned things about my own country that I never understood while living in Iowa, living in America. I learned things about how societies operate and how they're structured. And sometimes this would come from actually a fairly common occurrence, such as an automobile accident. Driving down the highway, I came upon a scene. You could see there were cars off the road and a large group of Vietnamese people standing around. So I stopped, and my team members and I got out to look and see what was happening. And we saw there were two cars that had collided on the road. They had fallen off into the ditch. There was clearly at least one person from one of the cars who was lying still, appeared to be dead. Others were injured. And what struck me was that no one in the crowd was doing anything to help. No one was trying to take the injured people and put them in their vehicle and rush them to a hospital. And we Americans were acted in the way that we would if we came upon that situation here at home. We immediately jumped in, sort of saying, I don't know what's wrong with these people, why they aren't doing something. We took the wounded, injured people, put them up in our Jeep, and rushed them to the hospital so they could receive medical aid. Later on, I was wondering, well, why did that happen? Why was the reaction so different? Why didn't any of those people standing around want to help? And the explanation that was given to me was this. In Vietnam, a person, an individual, feels that they have their biggest and most significant obligation is to their own family, to the members of their family. And while these individuals who were hurt were not members of their family, they represented a danger. Because in such an accident where someone would be killed, a family members from that family, finding out about it, would come and often seek revenge, seek vengeance, without wanting to know what happened, whose fault it was, their relative's dead. They're going to come and kill somebody from the other family to enact vengeance. And so if you, as a bystander, are involved in picking up someone who's hurt, the assumption may be among those who are just arriving, looking to seek vengeance, that somehow you were responsible and you could be killed. And if that happens, those who suffer are your own family. So if you're an adult man or woman and you have a family that depends on you for their existence, for their survival, you don't put yourself in a situation where you could be killed, where your family could suffer, because your obligation is to your family. And so I came to see that the way societies are structured and operate depends on the answer to the question, to whom do I have an obligation? My car broke down with my family in it once in Wyoming. People driving by stopped, got out, helped us, turned around, towed our car back into town, came back the next day to help us find the mechanic shop where it could be repaired. They didn't know me. But if you live on the American frontier, the lesson was you have an obligation to everybody else in your community. If they are at risk, you have to help them because you'd expect the same would be done for you. The sense of to whom do you have an obligation? Very different in different societies. It was a real lesson I learned, and I've carried with me all through my career.